In today's episode, we're speaking to the one and only Helen Boyle, the co-founder for ixglobal. She's an amazing entrepreneur, someone who's had many careers in the past, being a stewardess, as well as being a police officer, and someone who actually is one of my mentors and I look up to. So let's find out about her journey. Welcome. It's Gull Khan here, your money mindset expert. And I am super excited to be speaking to Helen Boyle, one of my mentors when it comes to the area of Forex, and who is someone who's amazing, who's based in the UK, yet she has had an extensive career and is currently the co-founder for ixglobal. So you'll find out what that is. And so welcome, Helen. How are you doing?
Hi, Gull. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for taking the time and speaking to us. So, Helen, tell everybody why you're so amazing and why do I think you're fabulous?
Oh, that's a loaded question. So, as Gull said, my name's Helen Boyle. I am the co-founder of ixglobal, which is a financial fitness company and a self-betterment platform, and I'm sure we'll touch on that a little bit later. I'm a #1 best-selling author twice over now. My second book was just released this week. And as Gull said, I've had quite a nice career, really. I was a cabin crew for Virgin Atlantic for a long time and worked closely with Sir Richard Branson on the promotions team. And I'm also a detective in the police force. So I've had quite an interesting life.
So what got you into the entrepreneurial space and how did your journey begin?
So it's a bit of a funny story, really, Gull. So without going into too much detail, in 2013, I suffered quite a severe brain injury whilst at work with the police.
Right.
And it left me with a medical condition called fibromyalgia, which I'm sure many of your listeners will know what that is. And it's chronic pain all over your body, like constantly, as well as other things. And it's very difficult to diagnose. It's very difficult to treat. Really, the only thing you can do is take pain relief and things like that. So a friend of mine who I used to fly with at Virgin I knew she had an online business where she sold health and wellness products. And one of the products that she sold, she talked about helping with muscle pain and things like that.
Right.
So it was a Wednesday morning, about 3 years ago, Wednesday morning. And I remember vividly, I messaged her and I said, hi, can I meet up with you at some point? I've not seen her for years. Can I meet up with you at some point and talk about this product that you've got, and explain the situation? So she messaged me back and she went, oh, yes, she said, yeah, how about tonight? So I said, that's fine. She said, I've actually got a meeting at a hotel about these products, but you're welcome to come along. We can have a chat in the car, have a drink afterwards. She said, it's not a long meeting. So I said, that's fine. So she picked me up around 6:30 and we got to a hotel. And we went into this room and there were rows and rows of chairs. And at the front of the room was 2 ladies with all these health and wellness products. And I thought, this is a bit strange, but really didn't know what was happening. And then all of a sudden this meeting started at 7:00 and it was a business presentation for this company. So I kind of sat there and the lady who was doing the presentation was an ex-police officer and, she'd made all this money and she'd been very successful. So I listened and the more I listened, I thought, this is just what I've been looking for. And I came away with a business, Gull. I went in there just to buy a product and find out about a product that would help me, and I came out with a business. Now, that business, I did very well with it, but product-based business isn't for me, and it wasn't the right fit for me. Yeah. However, because of joining that business, that led, as always, to different paths and different roads and meeting people. And I absolutely guarantee, had I not texted that friend on that Wednesday morning, I would not be sat here now. I would never have started a business. I'm absolutely sure of it. So it's funny how things sometimes work out.
So how did you how did that take you to being a co-founder for ixglobal and working with someone like Joe?
Yeah, so as I said, I stayed with that first company probably around 7 or 8 months. And in that time, I met my business partner here in the UK, who's Anita Davis, who's absolutely fantastic. She's like my right arm. And we got very friendly. She was also in the same business as me, and she lived nearby. We got friendly, but we both shared the same opinion that product-based business wasn't for us, that we knew we were on the right track in the industry, in wanting to be entrepreneurs, in coaching and mentoring, but we just weren't with the right company. So we actually stumbled across another business which was in the financial markets. So it was a complete shift. Yeah. But the moment we saw that business and we could see the potential of where this could take us, and it was whilst we were with that business that we met Joe Martinez, who's the CEO of ixglobal. And you know, when people say that, well, I did with my husband. Well, as soon as I saw my husband, I knew he was the one. I instantly knew I wanted to marry him. It was kind of the same with Joe, but without the
romantic aspect.
Without the romance. I knew he was the one that was going to take us on the right path. He was the one that was going to change our lives. And I knew that straight away. And the first thing he said to me was, Helen, I am building this with or without you. And I thought, no way. I'm building it with you, Joe. And and IX has been developed and born over the last 12 months, and we've added new products. It's been trial and error, as everything. But we are where we are now, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of your team members, so I don't actively go out looking for business opportunities because I literally don't have the time, because I do work full time in my coaching business, and plus I do trade, and I do have property investments as well. But the reason why I joined ixglobal was actually through you, and somebody else, I think maybe, and through you thereafter. After speaking to you, because I always come to you whenever I have issues. I always come to you, and I can still see it. And this is the reason why I've stayed, because I can see the potential of having both aspects of learning about forex and how to trade. Instead of spending 10,000, whereas I've spent 10,000 learning about trading from some other company, it's not even a fraction of that on a monthly basis. You can learn how to trade and have it be done for you through the automation process, which is really unique to ixglobal, which I love. And that's actually when I tell people about it at ixglobal, that's what I say. Like, the automation is great. There is another element of learning, but I can't tell you that because I don't learn from them. But I know it exists, and it's phenomenal. But I personally can't give that's you have to be real. I can't give an opinion about it because I haven't used it. But I know it's such a powerful concept. But now this brings me to the next question, which is, one of the major issues you will find, not with someone like me, but most other people coming in, especially in today's market, because there are people losing jobs and people don't have money and there's a recession and whatever else going on. And apparently I read an article this morning that said that we are going into the biggest recession the UK has ever seen. And so it may be at least the worst one since the 2008-2009 crash. Well, in that sort of mind frame, when people are there, so how do you change people's mindset? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Yeah, and it is very difficult. And I think the beauty of IX, like you said, you're a busy working mum. You have your own business. You've got so much going on. Yet you can use our products, Gull, without having to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't talk lots, but if you need me, you want to ask something, you message me and I'm there.
Yes, of course. Yes, always.
And that's the beauty of IX, and the beauty certainly of the automation, because most people do have job mentalities. Yeah. And, I still, even though I could give up my job tomorrow financially, I still work with the police. I'm still a detective with the police. And that's my choice. I want to pay off my mortgage. I want to be completely financially free. So whilst I can do both, I am. So I understand from both sides how you feel secure with a job. And I think it's taking these baby steps, making sure people understand that you can be part of our company and our business, and you can take things in your own time. You can, as you say, learn how to trade if you want to, because all the education is there. We have a platform which has hundreds of hours worth of inspirational content. So things like spiritual growth, leadership, health and wellness, emotional intelligence, personal development, like hundreds of hours worth that you can tune into whenever you want. And that's completely free for everyone. And you can also have your automation and your money working for you whilst you are still working, but know in your mind that within 3 to 5 years you are going to be completely financially free. And that is, I think, in the way the world is now, we have to do it in small steps. And I know we were talking before we started recording, and I think in years to come people will be a lot more open to this type of industry and to working for yourselves and having online businesses. But at the moment, we have to go with what we have. And I think baby steps, small steps, lots of support, that's what's important. And IX, for me, I think we are doing well on that front.
And I can match that. I think IX is a fabulous company. So that's why I recommend when someone comes to me for Forex, unless they're willing to spend a certain amount of time and commit financially to learning it ground up, intensely, I think that IX is the way to go, because you can have automation working for you while you're learning and actually experimenting on the demo accounts. But it brings me back to the mindset thing of, how did you change your mindset? What steps did you take to go from, a fixed employee mindset to being an entrepreneur, thinking, there's a possibility for me to grow. Yes, because there's an element where you can see other people doing well and other people, prospering in a business, especially in MLM businesses, and then having it work for you, because that's, if one person can make it work, you can make it work. And the only time it doesn't work for you is if you're not allowing yourself, if you're in your own way. So how did you change your mindset that you get yourself out of your own way to allow this business to work for you, to start becoming financially free?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Gull. The only difference between any of us is the way our mind is arranged.
Yeah.
That is the only difference. So I believe it's always an ongoing process. So I don't think I will ever be the finished article. However, what I did was I listened to Joe, who's my mentor, Joe Martinez, and I started to implement little daily habits into my life to change how I think. So, for example, I have a morning routine. And when I wake up, the first thing I do is I read a section from a spiritual book. I then do manifestation. And I've built this up over time. This isn't just something that one morning I started to do. I do a manifestation because I absolutely love just being relaxed and visualizing. And I do that. I get up and have a drink of water. I then maybe do some meditation. And I write in a journal. So it was, for me, I've just implemented small daily habits, and you will find one habit makes another habit, and I go out and I take the dog out and I go on a walk, and then I turn my business phone on, and there are lots of messages there waiting for me. But what I have, and I'm learning all the time, because what I learned was when I didn't have a business phone, I would wake up and I'd look at my phone to read my Kindle, and I would just see all these business messages. And that put me in a really bad frame of mind for the day. So I try to start my day in a positive manner as much as I can. We all have off days, but I try to do that. And throughout the day, I take time to read. I make sure I spend time with my family. I have an evening routine. You know, I turn my phone off at a certain time. So I do all of these things, and I'm learning all the time, and I'm still implementing daily habits. But it's all about, again, like anything, small steps and changing things gradually. Because as an adult, it's like I did a training a couple of days ago about lackful money thoughts. You know, lackful thoughts that you and if you can just start to change one thought and then another, you will see that come out kind of in the outer world. You will see that start manifesting itself. You know, if you go into a shop and you're constantly thinking, this is too expensive and I can't afford that, and I can't talk to anyone about the business because there's no way they'll be able to afford it. That's what you're going to get back.
Yes.
That's what you're going to get back. Whereas if you change your thoughts from, you know, to abundant thoughts, you're laughing. You're halfway there. And it's hard as an adult because we've been ingrained to save and to have a secure job.
Yes.
And it's very, very hard, but small steps.
I love that. And this is the foundation of what I teach throughout this podcast and through any of my trainings. It's your internal world that dictates your external world. So whatever you as spiritual creators, and we are creator beings, you know, having this physical 3D experience. So as a spiritual being, you know, whatever you have as your internal reality would have to be mirrored out in the external reality. So if you are living in lack and scarcity, your external environment would reflect that also. And the kind of people, if you have a business or if you're a coach or if you are building a business or MLM business, that's the kind of reality and that's the kind of clients or potential clients you will attract who will not be able to afford it. Because if you can't afford the services, nobody else can afford your services. As simple as that. And I love that you just reinforce that as well. So what one tip would you give to someone who's looking into, let's get 2 tips from you. One about changing the mindset. 2, when it comes to Forex, because we keep going back to Forex because ixglobal is primarily working around social media and bringing Forex education and personal development and social media all together under one. But from my point of view, ixglobal is, you know, it's miles ahead when it comes to Forex education. So what's the 2 tips you would give? 1, when it comes to Forex, and 2, secondly, on mindset.
So Forex, make sure you do your homework. I mean, I will always, as you would expect, promote ixglobal. Do your homework. If you are looking at Forex, make sure that you know the ins and outs of where your money is going. Because with ixglobal, we don't have access to your money. Yeah. It is always, as you know, Gull, it is always in your control. And at any time, day or night, you can stop that and turn it off instantly.
Exactly. Very important. Very, very important. Yeah.
Very important to understand that if you have if you're talking to someone who wants you to invest your money with them, as in actually with them, run a mile, because you need to have control of your money at all times. Yeah. What we do is we offer you a platform where your money can start working for you. And you can see that happening on your mobile phone. And at no point do we have access to your money. So make sure you do your homework. And if you are wanting to learn to trade manually, please use a demo account until you really understand the market, because our traders are experts. They have so many hours under their belt before they're even allowed near our trading systems. But make sure you know what you're doing, because the markets can change quickly. You can lose all of your money within minutes if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. So, and get some really good education.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me. So I've lost a couple of accounts, but I would add in, only invest what you're willing to risk.
Absolutely.
So, if you're going to come from the fear mentality of like, oh, I better not lose this money, then you will lose it. So understand it's an investment and it's at risk. So if you're willing to risk that money, then go for it. Otherwise, don't. that's my little 2 pence to it. Now, what would your advice be on mindset then?
Mindset is don't rush it. It can take a long time to actually feel like you're achieving anything. Start just by reading. Maybe download the Audible, where you pay £7 a month, and every month you get a new book.
Yeah.
And set yourself a little target of, okay, I'm going to get a new book every month, and I'm going to make sure by the time my renewal comes up, I've read that book. There are some amazing mindset books out there. I love the Badass series. I don't know if you've ever read any of them.
Yep, I have.
Zero.
Yep.
Absolutely. Ladies, if it's ladies listening, well, a lot of men love it, but for ladies especially, she's fantastic. Just start small steps. As I've mentioned before, if it's okay to say, Gull, that our app, so we have an app called ixglobal, which you can download on Google Play Store or the App Store. Just type in ixglobal. It's completely free to download, and we have an inspiration section. And as I said, we have hundreds of hours worth of content in there for free. There is no catch. There is no subscription. Anybody can download and use it. And there's journals in there. There's affirmations, there's printable PDF documents, there's manifestation video, there's everything you can want is in the app for free. So find what you like. If it's reading, start reading. If it's more just sitting quietly, start meditating. Find something you love and make sure you take the time out every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Where if you've got to go and sit in your car with the doors locked because that's the only peace you get, do that for 5 minutes a day and have that time just for you, because you will find that it does help. It really, just small things, reading 2 pages of your book, that will help. Download the app and give it a try.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And so just to let the listeners know, we will have all these links that Helen is talking about, and in my own personal links will all be in the show notes. So when you go and click on the actual module, or actually rather episode of the podcast, you'll be able to see all the links that she just mentioned anyway. So if you've heard it, if you think what was that, you can re-listen to the episode, or we can just click into the show notes. So actually on that note, Helen, thank you so much. Tell us, where can we find you, and where can we find you on the internet?
So on the internet, I am mainly on Facebook. I'm not a big Instagram user, so you will definitely find me on Facebook if you search Helen Boyle, and I'll give you the link, Gull, to my Facebook page. If you download the ixglobal app, I am the Chief Content Officer for the app, so I provide most of the content in there and work with our other content creators. So you will definitely see me in there, and you can always click on my picture and send me a message. So that's pretty much where I am. I've just released my second book this week, as I said, called She is Unstoppable. So that's definitely all over the internet and on Amazon as well. So yeah, I'm kind of I'm very
Congratulations on your book, your second book, She is Unstoppable, which I believe has become the Amazon bestseller. So congratulations for that, Helen.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck for all your future endeavours. And I'm sure we'll be partnering in the future anyway, because I'll be working with you very closely. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Helen. And for everybody listening and watching, thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening to amazing story and amazing journey that Helen's had. And it's been quite a journey, as you'll agree, and you'll understand why I think she's amazing. And for those who have been listening, thank you so much. I will be back with another Friday feature with another amazing guest, sharing their life experiences and telling us how they changed their mindset to be where they are right now. Until the next time we meet, this is Gull Khan signing off. Take care and bye for now.